Hi everybody, how are you? Today is in the schedule in Hatha Yoga O level. So I'm gonna do Yin Yoga. It could be taken gently, it could be taken a little bit more advanced, all depending the variations you want to follow. Yin Yoga is excellent way to help your body with your bones, your joints, your ligaments. Those are the yin tissues on your body. But it doesn't mean you're not going to work your organs, your muscles, your skin, which are your yang tissues. It just works different than regular, vigorous hatha yoga. So if you've never done it before, try to not work with pain. We're going to do holdings of 2 minutes, minute and a half, 2.5, and that's a good all level class. So let's begin in here, sitting into cross-legged position. Sitting on the top of a block, put your hands up, thumb and index finger together, eyes closed. Relax your facial muscles and allow the breath to start circulating in and out. Counting the breath, if it's possible. 3 counts each inhale. A small retention to the top. And exhale all the air out from your lungs, squeezing all the air out and away. Inhaling, counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, and 4. Inhalo 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhalo 1, 2, 3, and 4. Keep this count on your own for a minute or two. Bring your hands in front of your chest. We salute each other. Om Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Welcome everybody to Yin. Okay, we're going to shake out your legs in front of you. Relax your legs. We're going to do a tiny bit of cat-cow just to open your spine before we go into full Yin Yoga Classic, into hands and into your knees. We're right here gonna start into all 4 positions and take a deep inhale, lift up chest, lift up heart, sit bones up to the ceiling. And on the exhalation, rounding your spine, the head goes down, scoop, scoop, scoop. Inhale, lift up heart, lift your chest, rise. And exhale, head goes down. Scoop into your tummy, exaggerating a little bit that angry cat, that breech kind of position on your spine. And exaggerating the cow as well to start warming up into your lower back, head up, chest up, lift up. And on the exhalation, we're going to go into round spine one more time. Now on the next inhale, we're going to lift. Go into neutral. On the exhale, you're going to turn tip of the fingertips in towards you. If there is space, if you cannot do this, you can put them to the sides as I'm showing right now. But if there is a full rotation, you're going to bring them in close to your body. tuck toes under, so you're gonna do a little bit of a toe stretch and re-stretch both at the same time. So you're actually leaning into your feet, doing traction to your hands, opening toes, opening hands. Keep breathing. Not for long. This is only gonna be a minute, and please avoid it if your knees hurt. This is gonna be great to prevent calcification on your feet. And now we're gonna let go of one of your hands, one, and let go the other. Shake, shake, shake. And now when you're ready, release your toes. And we are going to hold into child's pose, one of the most beautiful yin asanas, balasana. I happen to like to bring like this, one hand on top of the other, rest the forehead into your hands just to make sure that my head is propped somehow. There's some students that like to work the head on the ground, but if you're already having pain on your neck for endless time on your cell phone or endless time into your devices, probably it's a better idea to neutralize the neck into a more up straight position. Feel your hips, the stretch on the curve of the ankle, the stretch on your toes. And just breathe, relax your mind. That's the most delicious part of yin yoga. Sometimes the poses are really, really yummy and comfortable, so you can just stimulate your meridians while you have a great time resting. It's okay to have a little bit of silence in practice. It's actually very, very, very meditative going in. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders. And let's do one vertebra at the time, going up, lifting. Good. And once you come all the way up, you bring your hands into your thighs, bring the shoulders up and down. And now let's sit to one side and shake your legs in front of you. Relax your legs in front of you. Now, we're going to do some poses on your back. We never have time to do poses on your back in yin yoga. And I'm going to give you front view and side view. You don't have to move. It's just for you. When you look at the monitor, you can see all the spectrum. So what we're going to do is being careful of your back, one vertebrae at the time, going down slowly, slowly. And hug the knees to your chest when you're ready. So right here, I'm going to go sideways, hug the knees, nice and deep. I think the next asana is one of my absolute favorite in yin yoga. It's called deer twist. And what we're going to have to do is be very smart propping if you have knee problems. And if it doesn't work, you can go into double knee twist. So first of all, we're going to open your feet nice and wide. And keep the knees bent right here. And you're going to do windshield wiper on your back, letting the knees fall to one side. Letting the knees fall to the other side. You can do it with breath. Inhale, let the legs go up. Exhale, let the knees fall to one side. Inhale one more time up. Exhale, knees to the other side. And on the next inhale, the knees go up. And the next time that the knees fall all the way to the right, you're going to let them stay there. As the knees fall down, you're going to lift up your head for a moment and make sure that the left hip is aligned with the left knee. And once you have that, you're going to put your head down to the floor. Now, where can the knee pain manifest? In the left leg, or the leg that is straight with the knee. If that happens, you can use one of your blocks, prop, full blanket, place it right underneath the leg to prevent full flexion of the knee, and that will be something gentle. Now, if you don't need it, you put it and kick it to the side and let yourself go into the pose this way. Now, take a moment, settle. You're going to feel the stretch in several places on your lower back, on the inside of the leg, right in this part too. And don't take any further decisions yet. You can open your arms one line with your shoulders. You can put the arms over the head, whatever your choice is. We're going to be here for 1.5 minutes each side. And if you want, you can bring your foot on top of the knee. That will be the next step. But be careful if you did this variation. Make sure that there is no pain on the meniscus or in this part of the knee, the inside part of the knee. It's actually comfortable. Remember the tattvas, the yin yoga principles is to arrive to the pose, resolve your variations, start breathing, and once you start breathing, the last tattva, the last principle is to hold and breathe, putting attention to anything that might manifest into your body. Thirty more seconds, the equivalent to 5 more breaths. Put your foot down into the floor. On the next inhale, bring now both knees back to the center. On the exhalation, hug the knees into your chest, nice and tight. Rock side to side, shoulder to shoulder. Inhale to your nose. And on the exhalation, bring your forehead up, lift up, rise, rise, rise. Bring the head down into the earth one more time. Bring the legs down into the floor, open the legs nice and wide, and start bringing the knees one more time into a gentle windshield wiper. Tons of sensation when you let go of that pose and you hug. And the next time that the knees fall over to the left side, keep them there. See how far can you go. Absolutely normal if you have a back bend or the back comes off the ground. It's part of the asana, and a matter of fact, deer twist. You're going to lift up your head and make sure that from your hip to your knee, you're perfectly aligned right there. You don't want the leg too far this way or too in. Hip to knee align, and then you're going to put your head down, back to the floor, and put your arms into whatever variation suits you. Wonderful hip opener and twist and back stretch and thigh opener. Remember, if you start experiencing pain underneath the knee, you can put the big block, like I show you, into the side underneath the knee. And for those students that feel comfortable into the twist and we like to add more, you can always play around into the pose, and you might want to bring the other leg on top, like I'm doing right now, to bring more gravity down towards the floor. But that should be a variation that you only do if the hip and the knee present no pain. Create the variation that makes sense for your body, that lets you relax into it. And more important, that lets you relax your yang tissues, like muscles, so you can enter your yin tissues, like joints and bones. Keep breathing, resolving your tattvas, resolving how it feels to arrive into the posture, how to resolve and make peace with all the edges you're going to confront, the variations you're going to follow. And the last step is to settle in stillness and hold. You're going to count in here 5 more breaths, the equivalent to 30 seconds to complete your hold. And on the next inhale, if you were in the variation with your foot up, put it down into the ground. Bring both knees up, 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 slowly, slowly. Recenter your pelvis, and on the exhale, lots of rustiness, delicious movements. Hug the knees and bring the forehead up to the knees, coming nice and high. Good, and now that was internal hip rotation. Now we're gonna work with external into window pose, grabbing the arches of your feet, feet up to the ceiling. Lie down again with the head on the floor, going to whatever variation of window you like. You can work close in butterfly, which is feet together, knees open, or you can go grabbing the toes open up into your window, or you can grab the arches from the inside or the outside. Make pieces with the edges, make pieces with all the variations you can add on, and then we're gonna hold in and squeeze down. Continue with the breath. Inhale and exhale. Really squeeze into the hips. Why am I so quiet today in class? Because yin yoga is so nice to sometimes giving yourself space to be quiet, the long reflection moments where you can really feel your hips, feel the inside of the groins. Anything that needs to be felt, go ahead. Don't stop it. Let it come to you. Let it be part of your practice. Very rarely we have so much time on your back because we usually start with other poses, sitting or pigeons, and by the time that it's time to get to the back is too late. So today I'm starting backwards, giving attention to your back, giving attention to those restful yin poses, and then if we have any time left, we can put something else into sitting. Last 30 seconds, try to go into the more intense space of your yin practice. Doing a little bit of leverage so the knees get closer to the ground. And then finally, that's very intense. You can get really, really up there. You're gonna bring the knees to your chest. One moment, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the knees into the heart. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhalation, you're gonna put your legs down into the floor, allowing some space into your hips. Shake out your legs in front of you for a moment. Relax your legs. We're gonna try to find the small pillow, the square pillow. I don't have it around here. Oh, it is in here. And the next pose is gonna be a perfect counter pose for your pelvis. So after you were working so deep into the grounds, the next asana will help you to go the counter pose. Have it around you right here, hands by your sides, feet underneath the knees. We're going to start with spinal lift, Setu Bandha Yang style. And then we're going to do a little bit of a restorative going down, pushing into your feet. On the next breath, start lifting from the lower back to the mid back to the upper back, going all the way up, all the way up. And remember, this is Yin Yoga Classic, so we're not going to be up for a while. We're going to do at least 5 reps with a little bit of yang force, stretching all the front part of your body, which is going to feel great after your window pose or happy baby. Nice. A little bit of thigh, a little bit of glute. Take another inhale, grab your cushion, and on the exhale, let's put that fold blanket, one of those cotton thick blankets, underneath your lower back. And when you get down, as you land softly into that cushion, the next thing you're gonna do is extend first one leg and then the other leg to the ground, giving you the opposite stretch right into the front part of the groins. Attention, if this hurts your lower back, bend your knees immediately. But if you find a good spot right here, put the legs onto the ground. Bring the arms over the head. And we're going to have a minute in here opening into your back. Extremely restful and yummy pose. Very, very resting. So lying down, back bend with prop. It's like we're doing a Sphinx pose, or you were doing a little bit of a cobra, but just backwards. You're on your back and the prop is lifting. This is Bailey, my dog. He's coming and visit today. The San Yogi dog, he's my loyal friend, likes to practice yoga with me all the time. Now slowly, after you've been here for a while, it's time to get up. Bend your knees, put your feet flat on the ground. On the next inhale, lift your hips up, 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 up. Remove the pillow to the side. And slowly bring your hips down to the ground, one vertebrae at a time. And we finally hug the knees into your chest. Squeeze them nice and deep, nice and tight. Inhale. And on the exhale, bring your forehead up and lift, lift up. Good. Bring your legs down into the ground, all the way to the floor. And once your legs go down to the ground, we're going to finish our back sequence with Bananasana. I think this is wonderful yin pose because it gives you heart, lung meridian, leg meridian, lymphatic system meridian. So we're going to start here in the center of your mat with legs together, arms by your sides. Let's start by the right side. Bring your feet together by the right corner of your mat. Both ankles and toes touching. Hips stay center. Right here. Make sure that this doesn't move. And now your upper body is going to move in little movements over to the right side as well. And as you can see, I have created with my body this shape of a banana, of a boomerang too. Now, if you want, you can work with your arms over your head like this. But if that makes your shoulder sore, you can place your arms by your sides if you need to. So make up your decision how you want to work up your arms. And there is another variations. You can bring the left leg over the right ankle to cross, but recenter your hips. Close your eyes and just settle in here. This is one of the poses in yin yoga that when you're in it, you don't feel much. But when the time starts to go and you hold the pose, sensations will start to arrive. But the best part is to letting it go. So let's just start first and second thought by resolving where you're going to be. And after you're resolved, let's hold here for another minute. So when you practice yin yoga, an hour goes super fast, especially if you're doing right side, left side. So take that in consideration. Rest your mind. It's absolutely normal in yin yoga that sometimes you go into a little nidra between one asana and the other. Now let's bring the foot down into the floor. And when the foot goes down, you're going to bring now your upper body back to center. Carefully, you're going to bring your legs back into center. Tons of sensation on the side body, absolutely normal. And slow as you can. Bring the knees into your chest. Oof, lots of sensations. Squeeze the knees into your chest, nice and tight. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhalation, bring the forehead up to the knees. Rise up, nice and tall, nice and tight. Take another inhale. And on the exhalation, you're going to bring your head down. And you're going to bring the legs down into the floor. And when the legs go down to the floor, you can windshield wiper, do any intuitive movement you need to do. Before you go into the other side, extending the legs, arms by your sides. Put the legs together over now to the left side. Keep your hips center. And now the upper body moves also to the left side. You can see right now the banana shape. And the stretch is going to be in all the side body, all into the waist. And if you bring the arms up, you're going to continue with that stretch into your heart and lung meridian. Although if your arms are up here and they're in distress, it's better to keep your hands on your belly. So find your variations, arm over the head, arms by your side, whatever you want. And now you can allow that right leg to go on top of the left, But don't allow yourself to go this way. Recenter your hips so you don't lose that boomerang banana shape. And once you get comfortable in here, resolve where you want everything, how you want to feel it. Extremely delicious pose. This is, I think, one of the ones that is more subtle, less movement, less complexity, but more results. So you're feeling it a lot right into these lines. First and second Tattva, arriving into the pose, resolving, finding your edges, how far you want to go, where are you comfortable, how you need to adjust. And the third and last Tattva is to stay, to hold, to be yin, to be that force that lets you stay grounded and settle. Bringing yin energy into your body. I hope you're enjoying this. This is so restful for me. You lose the track of time when you're doing yin yoga. Absolutely normal if you need to check out your watch sometimes. Especially when you're practicing yin yoga on your own, I always recommend to have a watch, a chronometer, a little alarm so it gives you evenness into one side and the other. Or you can manage it or monitor by counting the breaths as well. Especially if you're one of those people like I am, whenever I do yin yoga, I relax so much that I forget to count, I forget where I am. So that's why I always have a little alarm in me whenever the holdings are coming closer. We're going to be here for the last 30 seconds, kind of equal of 5 breaths. Keep breathing. Follow the rhythm of your breath. Count those breaths. You still have maybe like 2 more to go. And now slowly let's bring yourself first the upper body to center. When the upper body centers, bring the leg down to the floor. Slowly return your legs to the center as well now. And moving slowly. Hug the knees into your chest. Ay, ay, ay. Squeeze them in. Rock side to side, shoulder to shoulder. Beautiful. And now hug knees to your chest. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhalation, we're going to lift the forehead up to the knees. wonderful meridians we have worked, a very restful yin practice. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhalation, we're going to put the head down to the floor, roll to one side, bring your body up, lift up. We're going to do a second round of cat-cow to stretch your lower back. Come into your hands, come into your knees. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. You're going to feel how delicious it goes when you take a deep inhale, lift up chest, lift up heart, rise. Exhale one more time, round your spine, scoop, scoop, scoop into your tailbone. Inhale, head up, chest up, lift up. One more time, rise, rise. And on the exhalation, round your spine, curl tailbone under. And inhale, head up, chest up. Go up. And on the exhale, we're going to go into neutral back, melting heart, putting the knees right underneath the hips, extend your arms out forward. And right here, this is not child's pose. See how my knees stay aligned with the knees and the hips, arms in front. Start lowering your chest down to the floor. Turn the seat bones up to the ceiling and literally melt your heart. If the shoulders experience any kind of discomfort, you can bend your arms and goddess and make it gentler. If you feel fine, you can even put the chin into the ground, doing a little bit of a neck stretch. Be careful with this one. This one is a little bit more advanced, and necks with arthrosis or any other conditions might not like it. But necks that like extensions will actually feel delicious. This is not a pose when you have the chin into the ground. I remove my arm so you can see it. To be hold for long periods of time, we're only going to hold a minute into melting heart. Please be careful that the shoulder is not overextending as well. And there's no pain on your rotators or the chest pectoralis. It's feeling okay. This is helping you to counterpose a little bit of round spines. And then slowly lifting up a bit. Slide forward into your tummy. And lift up into a Sphinx pose. Rising up, lifting up, a little bit of a back stretch. I'm going to give you a very simple variation that is easy to follow and is pleasant. Hands underneath the elbows, shoulder width apart. We're going to place now the hands in front of you. Bend your knees. And if the back is not being bothered, so recommend to hold in here. Another variation that I like, if you have a bolster that is very, very delicious, is to bring the bolster right underneath the chest, and it can support your back up. I'm spending a lot of time editing classes, doing flyers, working with the cell phone. So it's actually so nice for a change, having your back the other way. Of course, I have a lot of time doing yoga as well and stretching, but this for sure, it gives me such a different feeling. Keep breathing. Keep stretching. Feeling right into your lower back. Of course, if the knee band give you pain, you can always work with the legs extended. And of course, you can always neutralize a little bit of the neck with the hands closed in a fist and letting your jaw rest into your hands. And if you don't have the bolster and you were working regular Sphinx, remember you were into this position, which is absolutely fine. Hold in here. Now we're going to take a last inhale, bringing yourself up as well. And on the exhale, we're going to go down, down, down. When you came down into your belly, breathe into your back. Give yourself a moment to have steady back, relaxed neutral spine. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders. Take a deep breath. Inhale. And on the exhalation, counterpose a little bit with a little angry cat. Round your spine. Round, round, round. And we're going to finish in here with cow face. A little bit of a dramatic end, an advanced pose for your hips to just finish your yin yoga. So I tell you a different way to go that I love it. Let's see if you like it. Your hands are underneath the shoulders. You're going to place now the right knee into center. Open your foot out this way. And now arm strength to lift you and bring one knee on top of the other, and then you sit down. If your knees cannot tolerate regular cow face, there is a variation of finishing your class with cow face in your back. And that's a very handy position to not mortify your knees. Now, if you're fine in here, try to go a bit more into the tuck. And if you need to sit on the end of a pillow, it's a great way to let the knees come closer to the ground. And you're going to avoid any knee problem. And you perhaps also want to work with the block or the bolster in front of you to maybe just go down to your forearms this way. That is enough for some hips. That is enough for some pelvis. So please stay here if this is more than you're asking for. Now we're going to address into a little bit more advanced levels. There is a variation to do full cow face, which is going to let the arms relax. Find your edge going forward, forward, and down, and then you release down. Of course, the weight of the arms are going to make it a little bit heavier to go forward and down, which can reflect in more stretch in the hips. I really like to prop my head so my head is not flying. So this is the way that I work cow face, with one hand on top of the other. Find your edge, find your wave, find your limit, and where is there? We're going to be here for 1.5 minutes into the first side. This is the last asana, big ending to your class before we rest. For some hips, this feels nothing. For some others, like mine today, oh man, I can really feel it into the glute. Both sides, I can feel it in the inside of the hip. But it's actually an okay feeling. It's not too bad.
Stay with your sensations. Try not to go impatient. It's almost done. The first minute is already went by. So we have another 5 breaths. Count them. And now bring yourself 1 vertebrae at the time all the way up. All the way up. Rise all the way up. A little trick to get out of here and land into the other side is the 360 circle. So I'm going to do it for you. You might want to try it at home. It's very easy to just find the outer edges of your feet, lift up and start unwinding the legs. Continue going, continue going, continue going, going. And go and sit to the other side. It's easy, just fall up the circle. And you might need to rearrange your legs so you get nice stimulation, one knee on top of the other. Remember, if this is not possible or is hurting into your knees, you can very easily just go into your back and do your cow face on your back, and it's going to help your hips minus the knee concerns. But if your knees are absolutely healthy, this is a pose that will help you prevent knee injuries because it stretches all the connections of your hip directly to your knee. Now, if you want to, you can sit on top of a block. And remember, in yin yoga, electric, sharp, numbing sensation into any of your body parts is an indication that something is wrong. You need to modify or change it immediately. You can get again your block. In case that you go a little bit down, you can stay right here. Taking a deep inhale. On the exhale, you might go down into that bolster block. And maybe some of you will go all the way down to the floor, or you can bring fist on top of fist on the floor. Finding your variation for the last hold of this yin class. So it was a class without warriors. It was a class without chaturangas. It was a true yin force connection. Try to disconnect of any upper body strength or force that is affecting you, whatever variation you chose to hold your feet or to go all the way down. For some people, this is a very, very intense moment where you're really feeling tight parts that you never knew they were so tight until you're here holding. In these moments, don't forget to assist yourself with breath. with presence. You have here another 30 seconds. You completed your first minute. You're finally done. You're gonna bring your hands underneath the shoulders. Ay. Ay, ay, ay. Intense moment for the hips going all the way up, all the way up. Remove one leg at the time. Nicely open. Come off the cushion. Hands go behind you. And let's move the legs from one side to the other into this yin release moment. Before we go into Shavasana, we're going to do a quick tabletop to just put a little bit of yang in your body and reposition your bones with muscular energy, feet underneath the knees. It's actually going to feel lovely. Tabletop, inhale, hammock in yin, rise, lift up, stretch the hips. Fill up your belly like a big balloon 3 times. And last time, inhale. And on the exhalation, let's get down to the floor again, all the way down. And as soon as you land into the floor, shake your legs, shake your hands. We're gonna get your block around. If you have a bolster. And if you don't, you can put a full blanket underneath the knees, getting yourself ready for final Shavasana. And once you're done, one vertebrae at the time, all the way down. You can prop your head with a blanket in case that your knee needs it. I don't need it, I just like it, how it feels to get a little bit of the neck curve prop. And this is my whole purpose of yin yoga. To be as comfortable as I can into each moment of class, even when the asanas they are not as comfortable. Understanding that perhaps some days the energy is really high, really peppy, really strong, ready to do a fun Vinyasa power flow. And also understanding and allowing more than anything that sometimes your body could be more into something more cooling, more restful, more gentle, more chilled. There's no way that every day of my life I could practice really strong Vinyasa or Ashtanga or huge Hatha sequences. At least twice a week, The advice is to mix and match with something gentle, something yin, something restorative, so the body gets all the information. For females, especially when you're in your period, there is full moon. And for everybody, it doesn't matter the gender. If your energy is not up there and you push through a hard practice, you're going to deplete your prana. Sometimes you need something quiet and restorative like this. So allowing yourself space to go to both. Now allowing yourself some silence, letting you be for a few minutes, couple of minutes at least. Relax. Start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Just return to your body, move your hands, hug the knees. Knees tight, tight, tight into your chest, rock them side to side, shoulder to shoulder. Let's roll to the right side, come up, bring yourself up. And let's sit now into cross-legged position. The magic of yin, let's see how you feel the rest of your day. Try to monitor any different reactions, sensations. Perhaps you feel really balanced, really chill. Maybe you sleep extra better tonight. Please keep track on the sensations. This was Hatha Yoga Levels today, Yin Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me in class. And reminding you one more time that when you scroll down, you can see the donation button. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, you help us a bunch if you subscribe. Thank you one more time. See you next time. This is Anna from Drishti Center. Namaste.